The function binding is a generic binding type that allows you to bind a dataset property to the result of a function. It allows any of the function parameters to be calculated dynamically via tag and property bindings. The function that you choose determines the parameters that are available and the kind of data that comes back. So here, for example, I have a table. I can bind the data property, which is the dataset, to a function binding. Now the function binding only shows up for dataset properties. The first thing you do is select the function you want to use, and there are various functions that Ignition provides. Certain modules like the MES modules might add more functions that will be available. The great thing about the functions here is that Ignition will take care of bringing the data back for you, especially if it's in a database. So one of the functions that we have here is the audit log. So that's going to bring back data from the audit log that we've stored in the database. So basically, first I'm going to choose the audit profile name, then I can choose a start date and end date. So I'm going to choose yesterday to, let's say, tomorrow. There are other filters that we can use here, but the basic idea is once I put in a few of the filters and press OK, it's going to bring back the information automatically for me. As you can see, there's a bunch of audit log information here that we're looking at. All of these properties in the binding are bindable, and that you can link them to properties on the screen or tag values. So for example, on the audit log, we may want to link the start date and end date to a component that the user can change which dates they want to look at. So let's go ahead and bring onto the window from our calendar the date range component. It will allow us to pick a start date and an end date. Then if I go back to my function binding, I can actually link the start date here to a property choosing the date range as start date, and I can link the end date to a property choosing the date range as end date. So I can do that with other filters here as well, but as soon as I press OK, now it's going to bring back the information for the time period I've selected. So if I was to change that date range, it would no longer have any data. If I bring it back over to the arrow, which is the current time, I have my information. So the function bindings will automatically bring back information depending on the type that you choose.